Good evening and welcome to the Taft City Council meeting for July 16, 2013. As is the custom, we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, which will be led by Mr. Orchel Cryer, and an invocation by Rodney Wyckoff of the Nazarene Church. Please rise.
Salute, pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this good day that you've given to us. I pray that you would be with each one of us this evening. I pray especially for the council members as they face the business for our community of Taft. We thank you for all the blessings you give to us. Help us to always be humble in our appreciation of what we have received from you. And we give you the praise for all things. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Cryer. Rodney, as always, thank you for being here. First item on the agenda tonight is a citizen's request for public comment. This is the time and the place for the general public to address the city council. Oh, she passed the test tonight.
You said you were going to check to see if she'd catch that.
All right. May we have a roll call, please? No problem.
Mayor Linder,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Cryer,
Here.
Councilmember Noor,
Lowly Councilmember Noor here.
Councilmember Walter,
Here.
and Councilmember Miller.
Here.
Thank you very much. Okay, so now moving on to item 1 is citizens' request for public comments. This is the time and the place for the general public to address the city council on matters within its jurisdiction. State law prohibits the council from addressing any issue not present or previously included on the agenda, and council may receive comment and set the matter for a subsequent meeting. Please limit your comments to 5 minutes. And the only people wishing to speak, it looks like Della St. Clair and Pam, I'm sorry, Boyce? Okay, just the way it sounds. Please come forward and state your name and address and talk to us about the Tumbleweed Festival.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Is that within our jurisdiction?
I'm trying to get with getting a fine. There's a loophole somewhere.
Hi, my name is Della St. Clair. This is Pam Noes.
Pam Noyes.
What else do we have to do? That's it, right?
Well, I think typically your address, but
Okay, we live at 711 Philippine Street.
great, thank you.
Okay, we're here again to announce the 5th annual Derby Acres Tumbleweed Festival. It's going to be July 27th, and we're looking for sponsors and volunteers. All the money always goes to the proceeds go to the kids, and this year they're working with Sergeant Dowds about getting bicycles for the kids. So that's our goal this year. It's going to start about 8 o'clock, and it'll go until whenever we close. There'll be 2 bands and all kinds of the antique cars, the motorcycles, the bounce house for the kids, all kinds of different things, just like last year. So we want to invite you guys to come,
Very
and
good.
everybody else. Anything
I
else?
believe this year there's a horseshoe tournament and a dart tournament.
Yes, that's true too.
Very good. Who's the honorary mayor of Derby Acres?
Dave Noor.
I'll have you know I'll do that for no less money than I do this right here, okay? We gotta stack it up pretty deep.
Trained very well, Orchel.
That's what happens when you're a congressman in a small community.
There you go. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
We
guys.
appreciate it. Okay, great. Moving on, council statements, non-action. Mr. Cryer.
Well, thank you. Got top down there, but kind of summer here, getting hot and slow, like a dog days of summer, not much happening right now, and all I can say is enjoy the movies, support Fox Theater, and you probably read that they're in need of a digital projector now, so the old technology is obsolete come the first of the year, and I believe there'll be some announcements later about how we can help out, but support our the Fox and the businesses here in town and on the west side, and And enjoy your rest of summer, and don't get too hot, and get a sunstroke, but just enjoy yourself. That's all I have to say.
Great, thank you. Mr. Knorr?
Well, thank you very much for that positive message, Mr. Congressman person. You know, I don't have a lot of comments tonight. Something that I did see in the news that's quite disturbing. It's happened in the past, and that is a national issue and an individual possibly being tried in the media. Nobody, no person, not any person in this room, nor anybody else in the United States of America wants to be tried in the media. We have a system that is not absolutely perfect, but judging by all the countries that I've visited, it's got to be one of the best there is. And you have to trust the system. And that individual was tried by a jury of his peers. He was acquitted, and then there were people that were upset with that decision. When you're upset, you can voice your opinion. Here again, that's part of the First Amendment Constitution, and that's one of the joys of living in the United States of America. But that does not free you up to take to the streets, destroying other people's property, breaking windows, crashing into Walmarts, and stealing and creating all kinds of mayhem. If you are looking for credibility as far as another side of an argument, you do not build credibility acting like an idiot. However, other people have a different way of doing things. I am so glad to say that I don't think anybody did that in the city of Taft. I got no reports from the chief of police about people smashing into Kmart or turning over display cases. If you don't agree with something that happens, this is democracy. Get involved in government. Public comments is a place to start, but acting like an idiot and trampling on other people's rights and properties is no way to present the other side of any argument. So I am so glad, times like this, I live in the city of Taft. That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Miller?
I agree with Mr. Knorr. If we can't trust our judicial system, then we're lost as a nation. You have to accept the verdicts as they come down and move on. And that's just the way it is here. I like to have people note that the Chamber of Commerce in the 4th of July festivities, part of it was there was a whole bunch of banners put up around Center Street and around town. And I proudly have put a banner, I had a banner put up on the corner of 6th and Kern Street with my daughter's picture on it. She's in the United States Air Force. I don't know if there's any other folks out there that are honoring their children who are in the service, or maybe it's a veteran that they'd want to honor, but I'd put that challenge out there, and I'd hope that other people would want to get on board with the Chamber's project, and those banners will be up through November. It's it's $250 for a fee, and those proceeds will help fund the next year's 4th of July fireworks, as long as and as go along and paying for the banner. So again, I would hope other folks in the community would honor their veterans or children or their spouses or whoever is serving in the armed forces in the same manner. It would really look nice to have at least Kern Street filled with those types of banners. So I hope people would get on board with that. Other than that, Mr. Mayor, that's all I have tonight.
Thank you. Mr. Waldron?
I have very little to say except on the Zimmerman case. My hat's off to the people that organized and did the protest correctly, and shame on the rest of them. That's all I got to say.
Very good, gentlemen. I just wanted to say thanks to the Chamber for such a great 4th of July celebration again. Did an outstanding job, and I concur with all your comments tonight. So we will move on now to item 3, which is department reports. Do we have any department? Chief.
Got a new toy to show you.
A new toy, huh?
So to speak, yes. First of all, I'd like to thank the City Council and City staff for their approval of our city's website. It's been a long time coming, I think we'll all agree, and it looks really good. It's very functional, and tonight I'm very proud to show you one of the newest additions to it, which is crime mapping. And this gives us a chance to let the citizens that we serve see what we do on a daily basis, 24 hours a day. They can see our calls for service. They can see the past calls for service in their neighborhood. They can see the last 5 years of stats, if you would like. You get to see everybody who's been arrested. If there's anybody that's missing, which right now there currently are 3 people, you can see who those people are, and if you have information, you're encouraged to call us. You can look at any cars that have been stolen that are outstanding that we're looking for, and you can report that to us. And as such, the public now gets to be just another extra set of eyes for us. And we set up tonight so we could give you just a brief demonstration. I also encourage you to go to our website, and you can play with it all you wish from there. Okay. If you go to the departments and go down to the police department and then over to the crime mapping.
Best laid plans.
It's been slow too. I'm sorry.
Well, fortunately for us, the police response time is much better than our internet. Yes.
There we go. You're going to click on the link that's provided there. There is just a handful of police departments in California that are currently using crime graphics from RIMS. There's probably about 80 agencies in California currently using RIMS, but not all of them use this. This is the past activities. The next one down is, it kind of gives you an idea of what's going on currently, and if you're to go up to the top where it says current activity, the top left. Okay, and then you take the slider bar that's right there, the round, and you bring it back to the left. You can scroll through there, and as you go down there, you'll see little dots, like number 11 right there will pop up. And by clicking on that dot, you can actually see that it was a theft-related call. In this case, it's forgery of credit cards. And you notice it does not give the actual address, it gives you the 100 block. So we're not trying to front anybody off, we want to give you an idea of what area it's occurring in. But you can look at it historic, go back 24 hours and see the calls we've had in the city of Taft. It also doesn't allow you to monitor us second by second, so you can't follow us around and harass us or get in our way, things like that. But it does allow the public to see what we're doing that any given day. Yes, and it gives you a disposition if it's known at the time. You go down to the next one, which is past activity. And those are past activities since July 13th. Or if you go up and hit the date panel on the left where it says the 13th, just hit the date panel. It'll drop down and give you the calendar box. Type in July 1st or just tap it.
But those are all calls to service, or are those actual
Those are actual crimes that are actually reported that fall within the categories of the type of calls that are what we call Part 1 crimes. Now, you notice we're not going to see any homicides. We haven't had any in well, I don't want to say when because I don't want to jinx it, but you can see all the other crimes that we've had. And by clicking on each one of those, you can see what it is we did on any particular day. It gives you the date and time. It includes traffic accidents. If we assisted another agency such as Kern County Sheriff in Ford City, South After the Heights, you can see where we help them out. If you go to the one that's down there in the center of the screen, the blue one, you'll see blues and reds. That means you got multiple calls at different locations. This, you have a false alarm, and if you scroll down, you'll be able to see what the other call was there, and this one's a stolen vehicle. So you get to see the different calls at the same addresses. Going to the next one, most wanted. We currently don't have a most wanted just yet, but if we do, we can certainly put them in here with a picture, and the public gets to see that. Missing persons is the next one.
We found someone already.
Yeah. And
Recognize the first two.
yeah, I thought they might look familiar. Next one down is stolen vehicles.
Is that
this is
becoming a bigger issue in Taft, or is that?
It is. We have about a 40% increase over last year's Grand Theft Autos. So these are the current vehicles that are outstanding as of today's date. It tells you what day they're stolen, the make, model, color, license, and what state of origin of the plate was. Next one down is arrests, and this gives you everybody's horsepower, whether they were site released or arrested on a warrant, or whether it was for drunk driving. And you can put the date range in there. I think we populated back to like May 1st, so you can be able to see all the rest. But everything goes out after 15 days. That way we don't overburden the system. But you can go down and see who's been arrested, and you'll get to see their picture. And then the next one down is, or if you want to scroll down, take a look.
There's the missing people.
So who's out there getting arrested. The next one down is crime charts. If you want to go back about 5 years, and the first one is kind of a misnomer. It always resets on homicide, and it shows like one bar, and I'm like, but we didn't have a homicide, so I'm not really quite sure how that works. And you notice we've had less than 10 robberies, and that includes actual strong arm robberies. If you look at burglary, you can kind of see the crime charts where it's been at. It's usually less than 100. But look at stolen vehicles. Big change there. In 08 it was fairly high, but in 09 it dipped and then came back in 10 to really high. We're not done with 2013 yet, but it's going to be high. Already we're at least that level from 2010 right now.
And what would you say is high? I mean, 20 vehicles, 100 vehicles, or what?
We've never been more than 40 vehicles for 10, 15 years, and now we've already passed that point now. It's only July.
Really?
Yeah, so we're...
And most of these actually break into vehicles, or keys in the ignition, or what, Chief?
There's a variety of reasons why they're stolen. Some where the keys are left in there, some the car is such a piece of junk you can put a screwdriver in there and start it. Others where they did, it was another person who broke into the house and took the keys type thing.
Okay.
So there's a variety of reasons how they get stolen. If you would like to get an alert, like something's happening, we have an in-progress crime such as what happened on January the 10th at the high school, we can put this in there and you'll get an alert, and you can tell us how you want to get that alert. If you go up to the bulletin is what we usually release over here to Doug. And now, and I know Doug will really appreciate this, Doug can just copy it from the website now. We won't have to actually print paper out and then fax it to him. He can just get it right off the website every morning when we populate it at 7 in the morning. And so this will be something that everybody gets to see. It's transparent to the public. We're not hiding anything. What we do is what is out there. The only thing we're not going to put out there is we're not going to put out child molestations or suicides. We don't think that's appropriate for the website, so those you will not see on here. So anyway, that's our that's the software module that you approved several council sessions ago, and we think this is a good positive step for the community to see how and what it is we do on a daily or even an hourly basis, and see what's going on in their neighborhood.
Also, there's several sites you can get onto about sexual predators that are located in the area. Is that part of this system, or is that a separate?
It's a separate system administrated by the state of California under Megan's Law. You can also get an app for it on your iPad or iPhone, and just type in 93268, and all of our registered sex offenders in this area will pop right up with pictures.
Yeah, okay.
So
But that's not part of our
That's
system.
not part of this, no.
Okay.
Then if you go to the About section, it takes you back to our website, within the the City of Taft's website. It talks about the police department. So anyway, any questions I have?
No, I suggest people go on and get into the police department part of the website and go through your history, and you've done a really fabulous job on that. And I would suggest people, if you're going to get in there and mess around, at least go through that and look at the history of the Taft Police Department. It was very good, a lot of good pictures, a lot of history there.
Thank you, sir. I've been, this has been a passion of mine for many years, to get that history out. I've been collecting it for a long time, and the department has a lot of rich history, and so does the city itself. I've uncovered some more pictures just about City Hall right here that I can bring over and share with you that we've discovered. Found some more negative prints of the police department on Center Street.
Yeah.
right next to the Taylor Bakery.
Inside pictures?
Yes, get outside picture. And so as soon as I can get that developed and get on the website, I will. I've been discovering lots of more stuff, and people have been bringing in things. We still have the old badges to put up, the old patches, the old ID cards to kind of share with everybody. And it's still a lot of work, and it's a work in progress, but we'll get there, and I think we'll all be a little bit richer for it.
Chief, I have a couple of questions for you. Well, maybe one big one. I've been getting some work.
No, I don't want to run for mayor of
No.
Derby.
Well, that could be next year.
You didn't have to run.
But,
You said it was a big question, huh?
A lot of businesses, especially on Center Street, more break-ins coming through the alleyways and stuff. A lot more, this simple stuff. They knock out, door down, and they grab a few things and stuff at nighttime. There's a way we can put cameras on it, maybe like down alleyways and stuff or something, or monitor it where it can help them out, our business people.
Well, a couple of things. One, we have been monitoring the thefts in the downtown area. We know that they are a hot spot, so the officers have been patrolling more at night and more in the downtown areas, watching those particular areas. Cameras are good, but cameras are not as effective at nighttime as they are during the daytime. So cameras may not be the exact answer. Some of those alleyways are actually fairly dark, and unless we're willing to put out a lot of money for infrared type of cameras, it's probably not cost effective just yet. I think we're going to get better bang for our buck by just being a lot more alert and a lot more patrolling down there and stopping everybody that we see that's in an alley that doesn't really belong there.
Most of these businesses are, small businesses. They can't really afford. Like one's closing down right now. They got broken into recently. They're closing down because they just couldn't absorb the cost of that one break-in. But it's something we need to look at, or come up with a plan or a solution we can look at for the small business people in different Center Street and maybe Kern Street, anything where the hot spots are. We can do to solve some of the crimes there.
I think we can all agree that catching bad guys cannot be the entire answer to the AB 109 problems. I think it's going to have to be more about prevention now, and keeping the crime from occurring in the first place. More visibility, better patrols, smarter responses by our officers, maybe keep a lot of that visibility up there where the bad guy doesn't commit the crimes. But remember, we're a small force, cannot be everywhere at once, and try as we will, we do keep an eye on the stats. We do keep an eye on the areas that are the most affected, and we try to concentrate in those areas. Sad to say, we're good at catching them. We just can't get anybody to hold on to them.
It'd be good maybe go to educate some of the business people. Maybe when it's kind of slow, maybe the officer go on each business and kind of see what their security is for the doors, is properly secured or not, and make recommendations or something. Or
I'm thinking that more along the lines is that we will reconstitute our citizens volunteers and have them out on patrol as high visibility, and that will go, I think, in a long way to aiding in the prevention portion of.
It's like making it so tough on them, on the people who are prying on our citizens here in our businesses. It's so hard they want to be in our town. They want to.
Understood.
That's easier picking.
Well, we have a lot of people who would love to come and help us, and maybe that's the answer right now is prevention using citizen volunteers. But it also puts another set of eyes out on the streets for us. Any other questions about the
Good one? Anything else?
Well, as citizen volunteer, I did that for 3 years with the sheriff's department. I thought we were pretty effective, and we patrolled 5 or 6 hours a night, a couple of nights a week, and just another eyes and ears out there too. So
You bet.
it'd be good to get that, and what Orchard's talking about is all about money. And somebody's got to pay for cameras, somebody's got to pay for lighting, somebody's got to pay for maybe alarm systems and that kind of stuff. So it's about money. Of course, if you're in a business, if you don't have insurance for burglary, and that's going to put you out of business. That you might not ought to be in business if you can't have at least theft insurance. So.
We're starting to feel the effects of 109, no doubt about it.
We all have to take stock in just exactly how vulnerable our own homes and our own businesses are. And you're right, that's part of doing business, and it's part of, make yourself the least attractive target or most difficult target. And that takes a little bit of thought and a little bit of investment. And it's a shame, but you know what? Our government is putting predators back out on the street. There's an alignment, AB 109, comes down to money, and now there's talk about even more if the governor's not successful in fighting the feds. We'll have to see, but be situationally aware, ladies and gentlemen, because the dirtbags are out on the streets. That's a fact. Fortunately, our police force is too. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you very much.
And I was trying to say that you guys are doing a great job. I'm not saying anything negative about what you guys are doing, but you're doing a terrific job. Just trying to be more proactive, what we can do to help educate and help make your job easier, and we all work together, as far as business climate with people here. So what I'm saying is you guys are doing a terrific job, and just what we can do to make it better,
Thank you, Councilman. I did understand, and thank you very much for the praise. We would like nothing better than to keep bad guys from taking your stuff. But thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Appreciate it. Are there any other department reports tonight? Seeing none, we'll move on to city manager statements. Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mayor. I just real quick want to point out on our city website that it is up and running, and we appreciate anybody that wants to add any comments. There's a comment section on there. We're trying weekly to, staff is looking at it and thinking of things we can add, we can rearrange to make it a better site. Recently, we added the zoning maps in our zoning section of our zoning ordinance. So potential folks that are trying to do something with their land, they can get the information they need and find out where they stand on their land that they own or possibly are going to buy. Also, I have a feeling that if you're a business owner and you approach the police department for a security audit, I believe that they would probably be more than happy to take a look at your business and possibly provide some advice on what you can do to lessen the chances of being a victim from a break-in. So if anybody would like to take advantage of that, they can get on the website. If you fill out the comment page or the complaint page, it goes to myself and a number of staff to look at. So we'll definitely go down to have a look at your business. And that 15 minutes of looking around will probably save us some grief, and we can be doing other things. So that'll be time well spent. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Item number 5, city attorney statements.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. I have nothing tonight.
Okay, thank you, sir. Item number 6, future agenda requests. Gentlemen, do you have any requests for future meetings?
Not at this time, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
No.
Sounds like we will move on to the consent calendar. The consent calendar, all items listed on the consent calendar shall be considered routine and will be enacted by one roll call vote. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the city council requests specific items to be removed from the consent calendar for separate action. Any item removed from the consent calendar will be considered after the regular business items. And tonight we're talking about item number 7, which is the minutes of the July 2nd regular meeting. Item number 8 is payment of bills. 9, second reading ordinance to amend section 9.13-4 of the Taft Municipal Code relating to the Taft City Skate Park. Item number 10 is the purchase of new security cameras for City Hall. Item number 11 is to reject all bids, modify the scope of work, and re-bid the project to complete the dechlorionization system for the federal wastewater treatment plant. Item number 12 is to approve the Taft Union High School School Resource Officer SRO Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, for fiscal year 13 and 14. Item number 13 is acceptance of the work performed by Bowman Asphalt to construct Rails to Trails Phase 2 from Hillard Street to 100 feet east of Sandy Creek, approximately 1,900 lineal feet. And I'll entertain a motion for the consent calendar if nobody requests anything to be removed.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to have item number 13 removed, please.
Item number 13, okay? Anything else, gentlemen? Then I would entertain a motion to approve items 7 through 12 on the consent calendar.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. May we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember North?
Yes.
Councilmember Pryor?
Yes.
Councilmember Walker?
Yeah.
Councilmember Miller?
Yes.
Mayor Lambert?
Yes. And going back to item number 13, acceptance of the work performed by Bowman Asphalt to construct Rails to Trails Phase 2 from Hillard Street to 100 feet east of Sandy Creek, approximately 1,900 lineal feet. Mr. Jones.
Thank you, Mayor. The City of Taft was granted a Transportation Development Act, Article 3 project through KernCog for the construction of a bike/pedestrian path from the existing rails or trails at Hillard Street to approximately 100 feet east of Sandy Creek. Bowman Asphalt was awarded a construction contract to complete the project on August 21st, 2012 for a bid amount of $252,252. The project has been completed and is in substantial conformance with the plans and specs. The final contract amount is $216,993.70. Some of the contract work examples are drinking fountains, benches, bike racks, etc. was eliminated in order to keep project close to the TD Article 3 grant budget. The total TDA article funding available for this project was $364,622. Final project cost, including design, environmental, biological surveys, solar lighting, which was installed by City Forces, water connection fee, construction management, and soils testing, is $367,906.59, with the additional necessary funding coming from general fund.
Thank you. Mr. Miller, you asked this be pulled?
I have one question, two questions. First question is in regards to the bushes that were put out there. The rabbits have looks like to me they've eaten all the bushes. Are we going to replace the bushes? And is Bowman responsible for that? Or are we going to put trees in there? Or
City staff will probably decide to put something more suitable in there since that didn't work. The only way to prevent the rabbits from eating is put a permanent rabbit fence around each bush. It's easier to take care of a tree. Bowman was on the hook for the windstorm that came through when the trees were not staked properly, and they've made good on that. Unfortunately, their contract didn't include rabbit damage to the boxwoods, so as those don't survive and city staff has time, you'll probably see them being replaced with a small tree or shrub.
were those our recommendations for the bushes, or was that Bowman's idea to put the bushes in?
The boxwoods was a recommendation from our engineer, landscape engineer. They are suitable in the area and will grow, but when you put them out in the middle of a rabbit buffet,
You just serve salad.
And the main concern with staff is they'll do the same things to the trees. And we went out there and put barriers up for our trees, but by the time we got out there, all of the little bushes were already nibbled all the way around, and once they take that layer off, you can't save them. So it happened very, very swiftly. So.
Well, I think the recommendations that we got from our landscape engineer would either poor choice or they didn't, face reality that, sticking a nice green bush out in the middle of rabbit country is just not going to last.
Yeah, it would have survived downtown, but not out there.
Right.
Yeah. My second question is, I live on Rails to Trail. It faces my backyard, and when they finished the trail from 10th Street to Church Street, after they really got that really nice black asphalt, they came along with a scraper on a backhoe and came down and scraped all the dirt off the top of it and just skinned all that black asphalt, and it looked like crap. I walked out the trail the other night and noticed that that's kind of the same thing. Do we have a piece of equipment with a sweeper on it that can sweep the dirt off the trail out there, or is that there? Yeah, I mean, it just...
They were supposed to go wash it off with a water truck.
Maybe just run the street sweeper out.
Well, I was about a week ago when I was out there, and that was what I was thinking, at least to have a water truck wash it off.
Did they stripe it yet when you were out?
I didn't see a stripe either.
Is that the new
They were
section?
supposed, yeah.
Yep.
They were supposed to wash it down with a water truck before they did the striping.
Well, personally, I'm a little upset about that because get that in a really nice black asphalt, and then they take a front scraper and just go along to scrape all the dirt off, and it just skins that black asphalt, and then our black asphalt is not black anymore. It just,
Doesn't look new.
It doesn't look new. It looks like it's all used, so. But that would be my gripe about this contract. But, I won't hold it up if it's staff's recommendation that we pay this.
All right, I guess I should have asked for a motion first, so is that a motion, Mr. Miller?
No, I'm not going to make a motion.
You're not? Okay, well, I'll entertain a motion to accept the work performed by Bowman Asphalt.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any other discussion, gentlemen?
Who's second?
Oh, I got stereo here, so you can give it to either one of the gentlemen here. Seeing no other discussion, then we will ask for a roll call, please.
Councilmember North?
Yes.
Councilmember Fryer?
Yes.
Councilmember Mulder?
Yes.
Councilmember Miller?
No.
And Mayor Linder?
Yes, noting Mr. Miller's concerns. Thank you. That concludes our regular business tonight. We will be going into closed session to confer, well, I guess I have to read it. I don't have anything to read.
We don't put that on there.
We did? All right, very good. Is it on the back? Am I missing it?
Might not be on there.
Well, he's talking about the other blurb.
Here, take mine.
Do I have to read it? Okay. Where is yours at? I mean, I have the closed session item, but isn't there a statement I have to read?
Oh, no.
Prior
I
to?
thought you were talking about the items.
Oh, okay, very good. So we will adjourn to closed session, and the items on the closed session are conference with legal counsel, potential litigation, Government Code Section 54956.9, paragraph B, one case. Item B is conference with property negotiator Craig Jones, city manager, Government Code Section 54956.8, various locations. And item C, conference with labor negotiator Craig Jones, city manager, Government Code Section 54957.6, all units. Thank you for being here tonight, and we are adjourned.